morning, good welcome everyone. How are you all today? Good evening, good time zone, whatever you're going to say. Oh, I have to finish things up. But, well, we're going to go around and yes, we're not muted, Rat. Aren't I fabulous? I am like really #pro today. So I'm going to go around and let everyone say who they are, where they're from, where you can find them, the name of who you are playing, but kind of hold off on descriptions to start because we're going to have a little bit of fun with that. And then I'll do the spiel at the end. So, hey Pooja, how are you doing? Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, hello. I'm doing well. Hi everyone, my name is Pooja. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me on the internet at Pooja on Twitter and at Poojaberwalkie on Instagram and in the Twitch chat tonight. And you will find me today playing Delmae Ferox. And more to come about her. Her pronouns are also she, her.
And next up, underneath her, did I turn off Lissa? Where are you, Lissa?
I'm here in the dark.
Yeah, you are.
Lurking.
It's okay. Oh, I'll fix it. Sorry. Give me a second, guys. I need to fix something. We're having technical difficulties. You wouldn't be a pro stream without it. So give me a second. Bye. Hi, let's take two. Hi, all. So we still have Pooja. She's right there. And then underneath Pooja, we have Alyssa, who you can see now.
Yeah, I'm here now. I'm present. I've made it. I'm here. I'm Alyssa, or Xander Slambleton as you see me around. She, her pronouns. And tonight I am playing Cecilia Valient, who is also she, her, and that's all we're going to say about her for now.
Yep. And then next to Cecilia, or actually on the other side of the overlay, jumping our wonderful closed captioning, is, hey Lindy, hi, nice to see you again.
Hi, that's me, I'm Lindy, and I will be playing Revka Chernoff. She is great, and I had a lot of fun putting her look together. We are both she, her, and I'm looking forward to playing.
Great, I thank you for that. You are fabulous. I appreciate that. And then next up, above you is, hey Simon, nice to see you.
Hello.
Long time
Hey,
no
I'm not
see.
muted.
No, you're not.
Yay. Hi everyone, I'm Simon at Wandering DM, and tonight I'll be playing Vashard Daley, the wolfkin boy, sad boy.
Yeah, apparently that's a thing. For those of you who had sad boy on your bingo card, you can now check that one off. But hi, welcome everyone. I'm at Deirdre Dunlin on Twitter, or Praxagora Thesmophoria as you see me around on Twitch. And welcome to the channel. Tonight, we will be beginning our story of the Romance of the Blue Rose, our Blue Rose Age anthology game by hashtag not sponsored, our friends over at Green Ronin Press. They are some fabulous people tonight, and so that's what we're going to be playing. I'll be fixing a lot of things as we go, because apparently things did not switch over the way I wanted them. But hey, I hope you enjoy yourselves and are welcome. But tonight, we start in the country of Aldis, away from the city. Aldis is a country of high mountains bordering its northeast and western and southwestern southeastern borders, not its western borders. Its western side is bordered by a long peninsula into the ocean. But we're not near the city of Aldis or even near that large ocean body. We're further out into the countryside, into the time and place of the just south of the Pavin Weald, into the rolling hills and plains that make up the countryside of Aldis. All around you are all of our fine players, are members of the Sovereign's Finest. A group put together that serve the Sovereign, who currently is Queen Jalen. She's been queen for 18 years now, selected by the Golden Heart itself. 2 years ago, she fought against the Kurnish invasion and arranged a secret strike force that went in and killed, maybe, the Lich King himself. But the Finest serve the Sovereign. They solve problems. Problems that you wouldn't want to call the army out for. Something that isn't necessarily needed for the entire Order of the Knights of the Blue Rose. They come in, they're part negotiators, part warriors, part mages. They help the people as they can. We start today in the town of Verdaunen, just south of the Pavin Weald. Pavin Weald is a large forest area that borders along the north and east of Aldis, full of dark old trees and old woods. Secrets are held there. Many secrets. But here we are in this town of Verdaunen. This group of the Finest, this cadre, this cohort, company even might be appropriate, have come because there is a problem. They're not 100% sure. The local traveling noble, who's basically the aristocrat / circuit judge for the area, had noted a ongoing problem with magic acting weirdly, people being a little strange, but nothing he could put a finger to. So he had summoned a unit of the Finest And this is the unit that had responded. So we're going to start with Simon. Who is Vashard? What does he look like as he rides over this river bridge into the town of Verdaunen?
Well, Vashard is a wolfkin, a sort of human in Blue Rose who grew up in the Pavin Weald, the thick forests north of Aldis. He shares more traits with animals than humans. As such, he is accompanied on his journey by his brother, Asen, and you would see if you were to look outside when he rides into Verdaunen. Is that the name of the town again? Verdaunen. A man dressed in supple leather pants, sturdy boots, and a simple green tunic, actually the same green that his cloak is made out of. They were both cut from the exact same piece of cloth. People in the Pavin Weald are poorer than elsewhere in the realms, and it kind of shows. The only thing that they do make that is of excellent quality is leather crafting. And as such, he wears a finely detailed... Oh no, I cut myself. A finely detailed leather vest under his cloak. On his horse, tied to the side, you can see a small backpack, a sword and a bow. And, of course, Pupper, next to him, is actually armored in barding made out of thin chainmail and leather. Oh, and yes, just like the filter I'm using right now, over the years, Vashard's eyes went from brown to a sort of golden color, which is sort of on par with other wolfkins.
So that's what Vashard is looking like as he moves off over this bridge into town. It's not a large town, and it's not a large bridge, but the river is busy. It's the river that will divide pretty much the border between, well, what would be considered the northeast and southwest of the country. Ends up being a very useful area. He is accompanied by a number of other people next to him or slightly behind. Who do we see, Alyssa?
Cecilia Valient is not a particularly tall woman, just general human features. I want everyone to shut their eyes and picture Rachel Weisz in The Mummy, but like a much shorter, sort of bobbed hair, glasses not unlike what I am currently wearing that never quite fit her face and they slide down near constantly. She's, like I said, not super tall, in a long sort of dark cloak, but underneath she's wearing a certain amount of whites that are associated with the healer core and the Medicaries of the Sovereign's Finest, and she is walking with her face in a book and is very intently reading and not necessarily paying attention to where her feet might be falling. So she is very focused and seems rather upset at what is occurring in this book. It's rather scandalized by the... When was this published? This material is... that's why. It's 20 years out of date. They have the incorrect formula for that particular healing spell. I I will be sure to get a new copy. This is incorrect. I will have to mark it myself.
And nearby, Pooja, who do we see near Cecilia as she comments on the inaccuracies of the publication?
Assuming that Cecilia is talking, Cecilia might be talking to her, but when the camera pans to the side, there's nobody standing, and so it has to pan down, and you see Delmae kneeling with one knee on the ground, scruffing up the fur of a big wolf. Delmae looks like she's dressed like everybody else. It's all muted, earthy tones with maybe like a little bit of greens for the forest, standard leather armor, but her clothes look probably a little bit nicer than they should. Whether that's because she is of a different background than the folks around here, and that gives her nicer clothes, or maybe because she just hasn't been out in the wild quite as long as everybody else, and so her clothes haven't worn down much. But what's most remarkable about Delmae is that despite her darker tanned skin, her hair is a shock of silvery platinum white. And it is in a thick braid down her back, smartly out of her face, but definitely striking to see, and one of the first things you notice about her. The wolf, you see, it looks a lot like the wolf over here, over my shoulder, very helpfully. And the wolf's name is Whisper. You see as she mutters under her breath to her wolf. To everybody else who sees, it looks like she's, it's not your standard, oh, I'm just talking to my pet. It's no, I'm having a conversation, and it's not just a one-way thing. Like there's a bond here between these two, and it's a very real and very tangible.
As she's talking to her bonded Whisper, I have to ask the question, what kind of wolf? Gray wolf, timber wolf, dark black?
It's I would say it's hard to tell because I don't know if the companions in this game, are they real wolves or are they like fae, or how did this work? How does that work?
They're real wolves.
Okay. Well, then we're gonna go definitely it's a timber wolf for sure. Because that's where she's a forest. It came from the forest.
Hey, a big old timber wolf. I support it. All the wolf and fun. And then the last member of this party approaching this bridge, this stone bridge over this running water, is whom? Lindy?
That would be Revka Chernoff. She has midnight-colored skin, bright silver hair. She's a Vadashah, and wears, sturdy, very practical leather boots and breeches, some armor. But she also has on a dyed woolen blouse. Probably in a nice royal blue, a very, very pretty shade of blue. She keeps her hair cropped, just about collarbone length, enough to pull out of her face if she needs to, but also enough to cover the back of her neck if she's out all day, just to keep the heat off from the sun. And she has a kind of like a stoic expression on her face. She seems to be a very serious kind of person, and is very looking around, like she's just trying to perceive everything around her at all times. She's trying to be a very aware individual, and she's got a big shield strapped onto her back and a flail on her hip as she just confidently strides forward.
Very, very confidently. This town, as you approach it, it's not overly warm. It's late autumn, or beginning of autumn, late summer, excuse me. Late summer, early autumn. There's a crispness in the air as the wind blows down off the mountains. You can smell that leaves that have started to fall and are just starting to crunch under your feet, and that kind of not that falling leaf smell that isn't quite, you know, as they crunch and are broken apart, drift across the air for you on the breeze. The town itself is bright. You can hear the sounds of the village market in the front of you. You can hear the sound of the heavy blacksmith shop and the people around town. There are you hear birds, you hear people in fields shouting. What would you like to do? Welcome to Verdaunen.
I assume somebody knows where we're supposed to go and who we're supposed to meet with, correct? I did not write it down. I'm afraid it has already slipped my mind.
Out
Tell
of
me-
game question.
Yeah.
Would I know who we're supposed to meet?
I mean, you would know who had informed you of to come, and you would know who the local noble said to meet with. You would know that would be. Hold on, I has it here. I have it here.
I do appreciate the out of character question. That's just all of us like, where are we going?
We're supposed sorry, words. The riding noble, the traveling noble who requested the that you come had told you that the one of the people who would be there, you should talk to, like the local alderman and not really, not the head of the local merchants and everything. The person that you should speak to in town was Aileen Parnscher. I will type it in the chat for you and the people at home as I she is the alderwoman, head woman. Not really, there isn't a lot of really organized government here, but she's the one who seems to be in charge most of the time.
Then I would turn to Cecilia. The alderwoman requested us.
Oh,
Farnsher, her name.
right. We talked about this. I forgot. Do we know where she would be?
Or why she might have requested all of us?
Well, from what I've been told, it was part of our responsibilities as the Sovereign's finest. There was an issue in town I think we're supposed to mediate.
Oh, this should be very interesting to observe.
I was kind of counting on one of you to do most of the talking, but
Oh.
I can certainly take the lead.
no, if you
I'm
don't
happy
want
to help. However, I just didn't expect to be let loose all of a sudden, on my
If
own.
it is talking we need, it should not be me. I am not a fantastic people person when it comes to the talking and mediating of things.
Oh,
I'm okay with people. I can do it. But
I believe in you, Delmae. I think you'll be fantastic for it.
well, I guess first let's find out what the issue is and whether we
Yes.
can even help.
Yes. You there?
I assume you're just yelling at a random person in the market, perhaps?
Yeah, well, as we're like walking down the main thoroughfare of the village.
Yeah, so you have here, your general market area. There's a larger gentleman, a night person. In Aldous, a night person, they look kind of like a World of Warcraft orc, sort of. Large, heavy shoulders, broad forehead, tusks, dark, various shades of purple or very, very dark blue skin tones, navy maybe. The night people have been welcome in Aldous for the last couple generations. He kind of turns and looks at you as he's spreading out this very elaborate fabric stall in the market with these very richly woven pieces of fabric, jacquards and brocades, very heavily detailed, very intricately woven, bright reds and jades and amethysts. He looks up at you and just kind of gives that kind of like a half smile, and he makes a point almost of making sure not to kind of like flash his tusk at you, as if he's kind of learned that that's not appropriate behavior with other humanoids. Would you like some of... Are you looking for fabrics, sir? Are we looking for...
I am very well clothed at the moment, thank you. No, could you help us find, your, alderwoman, Miss Aline Parncher?
She'd be up at the guild house, be my bet.
And where would that be?
Up the road. Big place. Got the tower. Big shiny clock on it. You can't
Thank
miss
you.
it. It smells like shite.
Why so?
Somebody let a bunch of pigs in it. Can't really go away.
Sounds strange, but interesting.
Well, have yourselves a pleasant day. And he kind of turns and dismisses you as if, well, you're not shopping. Let me
Yeah,
work
fair.
on what I'm actually doing.
Yep.
If you proceed up the road, you would turn left off of the center square and this center fountain. Up, you can see the large building right off the square. It has a large sign of just a large beer stein. It's kind of overfilled. No words on it, but very obviously that's where the bar is. Important place to know. But you can definitely see the large kind of guild house up at the top of the road. For player knowledge, yes, I did fix the scale, so everything should be measured to scale for you. It's all of just about 100 feet from town square to the door of the...
You're muted.
Yes, I was just remarking that the fact that even the houses are like the scale.
Mm-hmm.
Cute. I like that.
Trying not to play with it too much. I'm so fascinated by it.
Okay, so I guess we're going.
Yes.
Making a mental
We've
note
been-
of the pub, right? We're all making a mental note about
Yes.
about the pub.
Yes, a mental note about the pub is being made for sure.
And maybe Delmae pulls out a tiny notebook and makes a literal note about the pub.
Oh,
Uh,
Delmae, you're good on you
She's
for
learning.
remembering the notebook. I'm so happy that is of the habits that I have tried to pass on to you as my mentee. I am so happy that the notebook is one that you have picked up. Very pleased.
You know, at first I did try to keep everything in my head, and then I realized that just seemed like a lot of work, and you know, writing it down means I can put it in my pocket and pull it up when needed.
Exactly. Oh, I'm just so touched.
I have a good tutor.
Oh, stop.
We can stop at the pub once everything is done. I'd like to see to the finest's business first.
Of course.
Yes.
And
There are
You can
people who need
notice that-
assistance. So.
Vashard doesn't look super comfortable.
I think Cecilia's making a mental note like, this is... Vashard has had a change in mood and is reacting uncomfortably. And in her own tiny notebook, makes a mental note to bring it up to Vashard later to have him assess how he's feeling in this moment with a new situation.
So you make your way to the guild house. It's meeting house, longhouse, town hall. You see outside, or just beyond to the left of the guild house, a forge burning. You can hear the hammering coming from there. You can, when you get to the door of the guild house, smell it. It definitely smells like old pig and shit.
Delightful.
I opened the door for everyone.
It is the main entry into this, corner building. The main hall is large, open, large, buttressed ceilings with wood paneling and like these large wood beams that are supporting little carvings and paintings along the wood beams, kind of very almost Nordic in style, like the paintings on the inside of the wood beams. And you can see a number of people like coming and going. You see a youngish looking woman, human, darker tanned skin, long dark hair. If we were to say something about it in modern 2020 America, we'd probably say somewhere on the Indian subcontinent, maybe northern India, southern Pakistan. She has a blue-gray dress on and
Basically, this skin tone.
Yeah,
is
that
what
kind
we're
of skin
going
tone.
for.
A little bit darker,
Yeah,
actually.
okay. I mean, you can just point. It's fine. It works.
I'm not gonna point. That would be rude. But you also see that she's got this wrap over the back of her hair in this kind of lilac and purple. Her clothes are nicer than you've seen around town, but they're still practical, weathered. The embroidery is detailed. She is very much beset by, like, people coming in, people coming out, people coming in, people going out. Running the space, and very much a woman in charge of her own space, right? Everyone is circling around her. She's the one who's is in charge, and she's controlling that space.
Delmae will look to Vashard and say, looks like we found our quarry. I'll let you take the lead.
I'll just... Vashard nods. Take a few steps forward. Miss Parncher? No.
Technically, yes. It's just that the healer's uniform is slightly different than the General Sovereign's own uniform to mark us and things like that. But
Yeah, not Vashard. He finds the uniform a little too restrictive.
Revka's only part-time, so... Nah.
I don't think Delmae is either. Let's be real.
well, that is something to make a note of, that nobody likes their uniforms except for me.
I don't think Delmae has a problem with the uniform. It's just that none of her friends are wearing this. So she doesn't want to be the uncool kid, you know? She's following by
Revka's just
example.
wearing clothes that are just so her. They just scream her fashion sense.
Following the rules is cool.
Also seems optional.
I mean, it's only optional if the unit commander determines that it is optional, and it sure seems that Vashard has chosen optional.
Yes.
For this
There
unit.
you go. Vashard seems to value personality.
Vashard does believe in clothes are optional.
Oh.
Well,
Oh, no, I meant uniform. Sorry. Lapses.
I was going to say, Vashard, it's a little early in the evening to be thinking about taking off the clothing, is it not? Anyway,
Note to self, Cecilia seems a bit uppity about certain things.
there's just things are set the way that they are for a reason, and sometimes there is comfort in the rules that should be followed, and it's fine. I'm fine. I can be cool. I can be hip. I can roll with
Cecilia, it's all right.
this. No, it's great.
Y'all always
fine.
like this?
It's
Seems like it.
No.
first outing of
Yes.
my patrol.
Yes.
Apologies, Miss Parncher, ma'am. I am Vashard Daley. We are sent by the Sovereign's finest. We were told that there was a problem in your town.
Problem's one way to put it. Can't you smell that shit? And I mean that
Mhm.
literally.
Pig
Very
shit?
much so.
Yes. Pigs don't belong in a building. Pigs don't belong in a building just suddenly appearing there when the doors are closed, the windows closed, and everything else in the building's shut up for night. I ain't got no explanation for it. Ain't nobody got no explanation for it, but you can still smell it and see it. It ain't the weirdest thing that's been happening around this town, but it's been quite the most noticeable, or the most lingering, one might say.
When did they show up?
Oh, let's say pigs themselves, about 4 days ago. 2 o'clock in the morning, everybody in the whole town got themselves woke up. It was louder than the partying going on down the pub.
And you can't get them out of here. Is that right?
Well, no, we got the pigs out, but we can't get the smell out.
Oh.
You mentioned other incidents as well.
We lost a tree.
You You lost a tree.
Yes.
Can you
Like you
elaborate? What you
walked off?
lost a tree?
So I'm assuming you came up the road from the from Village Square. Real nice place. Looks all
Yes.
pretty.
Yes, it was
Mhm.
quite the lovely little place. Yes.
Yeah, there used to be about 150, 200 foot tall maple, bright red in color. Always bright red in color. In the center of town. Don't see that no more, do you? Don't even see a stump for it.
No, that is true. I did not see a single stump. What other incidents have occurred?
And for how long have they been occurring?
Couple months now. Small things at first, you know. Somebody misplaced a notebook. Somebody lost a pie off a window. Now, it could have been children running around. You mean, children steal a pie off a window all the time. Ain't nobody found nobody with the pie. Small things, goats randomly appearing in town. Ain't nobody had a goat in this town in nigh on 3 generations. There was a dolphin in the river. We are inland, about 500 miles from the ocean. That is fresh water. There ain't no reason to be a friggin' dolphin in my river.
This tree you meant. Did you see sign of it uprooting itself? Or did it just simply vanish?
Tree's gone. Whole thing just disappeared. No root, no stem, no stump, no nothing. Not even a leaf's fallen. I mean, now we've had that tree there for 4 or 5 generations at this point. Folk like get married under it, pledge their vows under it. Large, occasionally summer festivals take place there. Looks real pretty when they put lights in it and everything. You can
That
see it for
sounds lovely.
miles.
Miss Poncho, has there been anything else besides these incidents that might have caused it a new person in town, perhaps, or some other unexpected change before everything started getting, well, odd, like you've described it?
Not really to my recollection. There was some folk making their way south towards the city. You know, some of those folk out of the Weald. A lot of folk who look like you, ma'am. She kind of nods towards Revka. But they ain't never been a problem. They ain't gonna be one now, so...
No, I suspect not. Is there anything else you can think of prior to these incidents starting that maybe would be any kind of clue or connection at all? Anything you can think of?
We had some... creepy moaning at night, people claiming shit's haunted. I think they're a little too drunk on the full moon, but what do I know?
Where are they hearing these awful moanings and potential hauntings?
Well, it started out near the Aranda place, east side of town, towards the hill folk. They're nice enough people, young, nice married couple. Randus and his husband, Mildut, they've been living there for a while now. 4 years. 4 years. Mildut was saying that they've, been hearing moaning and crying and whatnot, and Now, not to put anything past anybody, but somebody else was saying that perhaps that was just themselves, and I'm like, well, you know, that's a little bit too much of my information. I don't ask nobody's business. I keep it to myself, right?
Yes, that is a remarkable quality to have in a person, yes. Well, I'm just going to turn to the others. Perhaps we start with the Moaning House.
That was what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Has there been...
That works.
Has there been any adepts that came through your town?
Ooh, we haven't had any adepts come through town in about 4 or 5 months now. Last one who was here was examining the fauna of the area and counting the... It said something about counting the cicada population. Y'all, when you start counting bugs, I close my mind. I got enough to worry about. I need to count sheep. I need to count bales of wool. I don't need to be counting bugs.
Well, sometimes there's valuable research that could come from studying cicada patterns, but I can understand how it would seem impractical if it is not an animal that one uses for other purposes. Perhaps. Would Cecilia know anything about the person that might have come through here?
Ooh, that is a question.
Do I know any cicada enthusiasts?
I know a fair number of academics across many different disciplines. It's entirely possible that I might know a cicada enthusiast.
Why don't you... You know what? I feel like this
Did you mean to mute yourself, Brax, or are you just mad at me for asking questions?
No, I hit the wrong button. I think that this is appropriate, and you should totally roll perhaps intelligence research to see how your cicada, you know, which of your compatriots is into cicada hunting.
Excellent. I love having the first roll of the game. And I rolled a 19.
And a 19 is very good in this system, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Well, I am again, I am one of the many scholars that exist in the Sovereign's Finest, and I do pride myself on keeping in fairly regular contact with a fair number of them, even if our disciplines do not intersect necessarily.
Yes. For those of you at home, 19 is, what is it? Officially, it is a imposing success. A success on an imposing challenge. So you would be aware of a particular entomologist. Interestingly enough, they are sea folk. They don't ascribe to any gender in particular, and they are fascinated by insects, believing, particularly because they, you know, they are sea folk and they're from the archipelago to the off the west coast of the country. They are trying to perform research to prove the genetic connection between crustaceans and land insects. Not considered especially popular among your cadre of friends, but they are that overly nerdy academic for whom only the academia works. Sea folk are true amphibian humanoids, and they, you know, they try to get along with other people, but they really, this particular sea folk doesn't have time for people, or
So they are the card-carrying classic academic of the is actually inept at most social situations.
Oh, yes. I believe they had been banned from more than one major noble party purely because of just lack of ability to interact with other humans.
Well, I mean, look, you can have the smartest research and write the best paper, but if you have no communication skills, then how can you expect anybody to appreciate your work in your time? Like, there's a logic to this, of course.
You would know that their name is Fakir.
Here.
Fakir.
That does sound like Fakir. So I see they've been through, but that's been some time now. Very well.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about them. They've gone. I don't. They said something about following migration of the bugs. Have fun.
Yes. That all sounds accurate. Miss Vashard, I unless my colleagues have other questions, I do believe we have taken enough of your time.
Are there, just one more question, are there any pigs around in town, or have you run them out of town?
No, I mean, we need... A bunch of folk have pigs. It's a farming community. Everybody got a pig.
Oh, I meant the mysterious appeared at 2 a.m. ones.
Well, somebody that was, well, it started with, I called Valshi, and she kind of points over your shoulder to, a woman standing just inside the door, in plate armor, long, kind of dirty blonde hair, in a braid, carrying a very large axe, and Valshi took care of moving the pigs out of here. I do not know where they ended up. I'm assuming back in somebody's pen. I was dealing with everything else.
Okay, thank you. I think we can start making some inquiries. Kitty! If no one else has any questions, Delmae would like to go approach Velshi.
Yes, that sounds
okay.
I
He's
guess a
gonna.
plan.
She'll go up to Velshi and. Hi, sorry to interrupt, but we just finished talking to Miss Poncher, and she mentioned that you were responsible for seeing to the mysteriously appearing pigs when they came through?
Yeah, I got that job.
Sorry about that. Where are they still around? Where could we find them?
Oh, we divvied them up. I know the Nahors took some, Alfric took a couple. Couple other farms around town. I mean, they're pigs.
Who'd be the closest?
Alfric. He's
Alfric, okay.
just outside of the... So if you go out the main door of the hall and turn right, he'd be right there. It's a pretty big piece of land.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Anybody else have questions for our fine friend Velshi?
Not at this point, I don't think.
Nope.
Her friends would know that the second animals got involved. Delmae's like, ooh, what? Where? Ooh, animals? What?
Noted.
Yeah, she's an animal girl. So I think if heading out, I think that's going to be the lead that she wants to go. She wants to go look at these pigs and like study them and examine them. You know, see, are they magic pigs? Are they real pigs? Are they pigs affected by magic? So she's going to follow Velshi's directions after thanking her to Ulfric and his pigs.
Yep. I will follow suit.
Yes, we can investigate pigs and then we can investigate moaning.
Yeah.
Yes, it seems that they are
Well, the pigs are right here, so may as
The
well.
pigs are on the way. Exactly.
Yeah.
The pigs are on the way, yes.
So we turn out and turn right. Is Alfric there?
He is not hard to find. Well, his house is not hard to find. It is right here. Well, oops, wrong thing. Right here.
Okay. All right, we'll go to Alfric's and look to see if we find someone to talk to.
Or pigs.
Or pigs. Yes, pigs to talk to also.
I mean, I guess pigs to talk to would be a thing.
As when we exit like town hall, I know it smelled like pigs a lot inside, but do we is there a lingering pig smell even outside as we walk to Alfred's? Alfric's?
Alfric.
Alfric.
Yeah. I mean, not any. Roll me a perception scent. Smelling.
Sure.
Because it's smelly.
I do not have scent, but I do have a perception of 16.
The smell inside the hall is much heavier than it should be. And it's like, for being there for 4 or 5 days, yeah, they should still smell like pig, but if you got them out relatively quickly, it, shouldn't be lingering the way it is. It also smells off to you. Now that you've come out, and you're outside, and you smell that crisp wind, and the fall leaves in the air, there's just something off. Lingering in the air that's not quite right.
You can go on ahead. I'm gonna check something first.
Don't need us to wait for you?
Would you like one of us to accompany you?
Yeah,
I'm actually
not in a
going to
rush.
stay right here.
Oh.
Very well.
What? Do you sense something? What's going on?
I think so. Well, give me and I'll look at Asin, and initiate a psychic contact.
Ooh, you're going to have a psychic conversation with your Wolfie.
Yes.
This leads me to a question I need to check in the Arcana rules of the book. Do you have to roll for it?
Yep.
Okay.
It's TN7 plus familiarity difficulty if he's not within sight of me.
Yes, but he is within sight of you because he's right next to you.
Yeah. So it's a TN7 that I need to roll. I have no bonus whatsoever, so... Boop.
Ooh, but you do roll...
A 13 and, yeah, stun points for spells.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think... Oh, yeah, standard arcane stunts. Sure, let's see, very quickly. Very quickly. Okay, I'll just, to make things simpler.
Mm-hmm.
I'll use Lasting Arcana. So that, we remain in contact for twice as long.
Okay.
I'll check how long it's supposed to last, and I'll tell you. But
yeah, that would be helpful. Thank you. Yes.
So yeah, once I connect with Asen's mind, I'll just ask him, brother, do you smell something off on the wind?
Roll Asen's perception smelling.
Yeah. 16 with 6 stun points.
The answer is yes. It smells like... He would tell you that it smells like burning magic. Like when Delmae does something weird.
Can I ask him where? Where, boy? Where's the magic coming from? Point me, boy. Except I don't say boy, I say brother.
Cool. He would give you this moment of like kind of like that wolfish raised eyebrow at you, like, really? Really? I know that Lassie is this kind of really popular story around town, but like, I am not a border collie. I am a wolf,
you're not.
goddammit.
You are a fierce animal.
Exactly, you should respect my fierceness.
Top of the food chain. Look at him. Top of the food chain.
Tippy top.
Oh, buddy.
I just want to boop the snoot so bad.
Is Asen friends with Whisper?
I think they would.
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago you got Whisper, though. I forgot to ask you that.
Oh, Whisper's been around for...
Because I only... Oh my god, he's losing all of his hair.
shedding his coat.
Oh.
Whisper's
It's
been
summer
around
coat,
for like...
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Probably, I would say, at least over 5 years.
Okay. So, a bit like Asen, I met Asen, I was 19. So it was after you left.
Okay.
So they would have probably, met once we met.
Yeah. No, I mean, but now, right now, now that they're part of the same cohort, are they?
Yeah, I'm
are they
fairly
buddies?
certain.
Yeah.
I didn't roll his personality, but I will assume he is not an asshole, and he is not emotionally stunted like his brother.
Oh,
Also, stop shedding, Jesus.
Whisper's a sweetheart.
I can almost imagine the number of times that Cecilia has tried to build Vashard up and saying things like, you are strong, you are atop of the food chain, you are a good person, is the kind of thing that he just says to Asen.
And doesn't apply to himself. Yep,
And
that's
doesn't
exactly
ever
it.
apply
That's
any of the
exactly
lessons
it.
of these positive self-affirmation statements to himself. Never, nope, not once. But to the wolf, yes.
Yep.
Tracks.
Yes, that all tracks. So after the moment of raised eyebrow, he would attempt to describe to you that the smell just is permeating, right? It's almost like it's everywhere. And not coming from a single location.
All around?
Yes. Stronger in various locations, but not like you can track it. Like it's there, and then it's gone. And because of that, it just kind of smells all around town.
But it's like failed magic.
Or hiccuping magic.
Yeah, I'll turn to the rest of the group as I'm scratching Asen's under the chin. He says it's like someone lost control of their arcana.
Oh.
Which, I mean, disappearing trees, appearing pigs.
I mean, Cecilia, you tell me, but I don't think I've managed something quite that dramatic, but...
No, certainly have not in any of our lessons. However, it is not unheard of to have wandering, wild magics and arcanas around.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should be very cautious as we're looking. There's probably
Absolutely.
somebody here that does not realize that they are an adept and perhaps is struggling to handle the control of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we to the pig man?
Yes.
I assume that there is a proper name for one that works with pigs, but I'm afraid it is not
Alfred.
something.
A
This one's
pig
called Alfred.
farmer.
A pig farmer. Yeah, yes. That's what it is. Just not a thing I normally interact with, so this is very interesting for me.
Fair. Okay. Well, to Alfric we go now.
So while you're all headed to Alfric, I have a question. Revka, what are you doing?
Tagging along, being cool, looking around, just seeing who's out and about, strolling through the town. Like, adepts and magics aren't particularly your spiel, but, she knows a couple things. She's hung around Cecilia and stuff, so she's keeping her eye out for maybe any adepts that aren't with us currently, or secret adepts, and just people watching while she follows.
She's people watching, so you're slightly distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. Put a pin in that. So, Delmae and Cecilia and Vashard and Revka, you make your way basically across the street from the guild house to the home of Alfric Bannock. Here. The door is open on his house. It's a 2-story house. Bottom floor is wood plank and some stonework. The upper floor is white plaster and thatched roof. The door is open. You can hear the sounds of, like, a couple children running around inside, like upstairs. There is, however, a very tall, stocky kind of man, standing kind of in the doorway, his arms crossed as he's staring at you as you walk towards him. He's kind of dusky blonde, older, both, close cropped beard and goatee, this kind of right here, wearing a blue surcoat and belt. He does not look like a farmer. Both Vashard and Revka would look at him immediately and say, okay, you might own a farm, but you are not a farmer.
Gotcha.
You would almost be looking for his weapon at this point. As he's got his arms crossed and is staring at you very intently.
Alfric?
He nods curtly once.
We're from the Sovereign's finest.
I can recognize an envoy when I see one, even if they're out of uniform.
Okay. You're not a pig farmer.
No. I have pigs on my farm, but no. I'm not a pig farmer.
When did you retire?
And he just kind of smiles at that, doesn't really answer.
My friends here had a few questions for you regarding the appearance of mysterious hogs in town.
Well, we would be interested in seeing and examining them if that would do well by you, sir.
He kind of gestures over his shoulder nonchalantly with a thumb. They're in the pen there. The Nahors have some. A bunch of others ended up being slaughtered. It is autumn. People decided free bacon was free bacon.
Have they been behaving like normal pigs?
I mean, it's a pig.
Well, we hope it's just a pig, but they appeared mysteriously, so I have to ask.
He kind of looks at you, but he's also looking over your shoulder at Revka and is giving this kind of Revka, right? Chernoff?
Yes, that is me.
Yeah. How are you doing? Didn't know you were hanging out with these folk.
It has been a, recent development over the past several years. It has been a long time.
Yeah, not since that thing in the swamp. That was a good time now, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I will never forget it.
Yeah. Oh, you should come in. You should totally come in. Cherry's inside, and she'd happy to see you. Hold on, I'm gonna go get her. Cherry, it's Revka. You remember Revka? And he kind of turns and walks inside, shouting.
We should go talk to those pigs.
Delmae turns to Revka and just goes, "Seems like a good thing."
It's great. It's been so long I did not recognize immediately. Alfred.
Do you want us to come with you, or should we peel off and go?
You should go investigate pigs. We have only so much time before, dark, and we'd rather investigate mystery. We can go to pub after where we figure this out, so.
I like this plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
Would like to come with me.
Well, of course, I want to see the pigs. I need to know what happened.
I'd much rather the pigs. No offense, Revka.
None taken.
Abandoning a player on the first day. Okay.
Making a note. Sure
Bye.
seems like there is offense meant by that. Just a quick note in the notebook.
Yeah, there's definitely a look exchanged. She's like, none taken. When he says that. That's fine.
It wasn't meant at you, it was meant at Ulfric.
Okay, yeah, well, she has to assume. It's only polite.
Well, to the pigs then. I think as we're walking towards the pigs, though, I'm going to glance over at Revka, because it's like, are we sure we want to leave her by herself?
She'll be fine.
Revka's a good warrior. If anything violent happens, I'm fairly certain that she can handle herself or let us know.
Oh, I don't expect violence. He seemed genuinely pleased to see her after a long time. I think they'll probably have a good old catch-up palling session, which Revka may or may not enjoy, but she'll live.
Oh, well, all right. Well, if you're all certain, then I will not trouble her with my presence. Very well. Let's see these pigs. Let's see these pigs.
Okay, pigs. We go to the pigs.
When we get to the pigs, what do we see?
Bet you see pigs.
You see pigs. You see big old American fat.
Before we get too close to the pigs,
pig.
Delmae will tell Whisper to stay back because she doesn't want to freak out the pigs with the giant wolf. So she's gonna come up to them though and Vashard, do you want to try asking the questions, or should I?
Have you ever spoken to a pig before?
No, but
Well, neither have I. I mean, it's a very might make for a very good conversation. I'm a quick out-of-game question before I follow up with that sentence. Is it possible to have like a multi-people psychic conversation, or is it always just like between two?
I think.
Because it only says like you establish a connection
Yeah, you establish the connection
between
and then
your
you can-
mind and that of an animal, but like it doesn't say how many of them you can have at like up
once.
at the same time. Yeah.
I will say that you can, but you are going to take a point of fatigue
Okay.
for each 1/2. And the time
Okay.
for only 2 is going to be shorter. Just because I like the idea and I want to have fun with it.
Well, do you want to join in?
Sure. Let's do it. But before we do, I would like to go ahead and do some. I'm just pulling it up. Mind reading, which allows me to. Well, I guess we need to establish psychic contact first, anyway, because I need to establish psychic contact in order to do the mind reading. So, let's do that. What
All right.
am I rolling? I don't have any other things populated.
And boop. I got the shit.
Well, you
Oh,
did
no, I
get
got
2
it.
stu points. Yeah, no, it's 2, 4, 6. Plus 3 is 9. For some reason, it's not giving you the correct total. Why is it not telling you the total in your roll?
Yeah, because there's like there's 2 pluses somewhere, so there's something that doesn't
Yeah.
something doesn't work right.
The coding is not right. The coding is there's a coding problem.
I'm going to take a look at it.
Looks like I got I don't know if my coding is correct. I got a 13.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I did mind reading. I need to do psychic contact first, don't I? That's a separate roll.
But it does 5,
do that
1.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, see, there you
18.
go.
yeah.
It rolled correctly for
Can you just tell me, Pooja, so you have a 3, a 4, a 6, a 2, and a 3.
Why do you have a 3 in the spellcasting?
So 3, 4,
Oh, never
6,
mind,
I know
sorry,
that's
I
what
know
you
that.
rolled.
Mm-hmm.
2 would be a focus. So I guess your stat is a 3 in communication,
Well,
Yes.
yes.
and you have a
spellcasting-
focus.
Yeah.
Wait, what's a spellcasting ability for?
That's
No,
the,
no. I have a. Yeah.
You have a 3 in communication, or whatever whatever the ability that
The
is
stat is needed. Yeah.
The
Is
status
you-
needed. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's because I'm trying to figure out which one in the sequence I'm missing.
Yeah.
And I
You're
think
missing a
I
focus.
found it. Yeah, I think it's the focus that I'm missing. But for some reason,
Yes,
it
I
shouldn't.
do have a focus bonus of 2 for communication, because in communication I have 2. I have persuasion at 2, and I have animal handling at 2.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
I don't
try
know why
to
my
figure it out.
number
If
is
it's
3,
blank,
though.
because you don't have a focus, try putting a 0 instead of just having it blank.
Yeah, I think that's what I. Yeah, see,
there we
it was
go.
the blank. Yep. Okay, thank you.
And
Why am I not getting stunt points on my rolls?
because you need to roll doubles on 2 of the 3
Doubles.
die.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
it's
I
not
would
it's not
just-
a coding issue.
I would just like to point out that this very random test roll
Yeah. Was a crit.
is like so fucking high.
It's literally a crit. It's as high as you could roll on that roll.
So
It's a shame it wasn't the real
Wow.
roll.
Yeah.
I touched this pig in his soul.
I don't know
No,
that
it's
I
not the
wanna
real
touch a-
one. I barely got it.
I don't know that I want to touch any pig in their soul. Just throwing that out there.
Just
Mostly
thinking
'cause-
about the phrasing on all of that is spectacular. We love to hear
Better the
it.
soul than some other places.
This is very true, but I'm also like,
Is this a day man, night man situation? You have
I
to
mean,
pay the
they're-
troll toll
okay,
to get
look.
to that boy's soul.
Look, y'all, I would like to remind you that pigs are nasty motherfuckers.
Yes.
They are mean. They are big enough to take you out. Someone small could, you know, Lindy or I could theoretically ride a pig.
Yep.
They're hogs, y'all. These are big ol' hogs. And they eat anything. And everything. And I would like you to remind you all of that episode of Criminal Minds where they go to the farm in Canada and they're not going to find any of the bodies because they were on a pig farm, y'all.
Look, it's always good to be
Yeah.
friends with the pig farmer. That's what I always say.
Exactly. Don't piss off the pig farmer.
Anyway,
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yes, you bond. You psychically bond with this big old hog.
did
it's
you
a-
want to ask him the questions first?
Sure. Hi. How are you? I guess with psychic connection, we just hear the response, right? Like,
yeah,
there's not
it's all
actually
just psychically.
languages.
There's not a vocal connection. It's in your brain. The pig is slightly disconcerted that someone is talking to it. It's a pig. This is not like
Oh. We're friends. It's okay. We just want to know how you're doing. And we heard there was some excitement in the middle of the night when you showed up in a building you shouldn't have been in. Any idea how that happened?
nope. I was outside, then I was inside, then I was outside here.
Was the outside you were at before different from here?
Yes.
What did it look like?
I have a very important question. I need to look something up.
Okay.
What is the intelligence stat of a pig?
Well, she means more like, was it foresty or farmy? You know, like not.
Cool. So pigs only do not see in color.
Oh.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I've had to
Um,
Google things like this when I have rangers in the group. Yeah.
So the pig, the hog, kind of gives you the impression of, like, flat and green and warm. Or not green, but flat and tasty and warm
Okay.
and mud.
How
Yeah, that's. Oh, sorry.
old are you?
Old enough.
She's just trying to get an idea of like, were these pigs created by magic, or were they existing pigs transported from location A to location B? That's kind of what she's trying to.
The impression that you're getting is that they were pigs that were transported from location A to location B.
Okay. So there's somebody out there just missing a whole slew of pigs. How
Yeah.
many of you showed up in the building in the middle of the night?
My friends, and then more friends, and then not friends.
Wow. Okay.
Did they all reappear here with you?
All my friends, and then more of my friends, and then other pigs I didn't know.
Many pigs you didn't know?
More than one.
Okay.
The man that feeds you. The human with 2 legs.
Yes.
Did you see him before you appeared inside? Was he someone known to you? Okay. Do you like it here?
Good here. Corn. Slop. Mud. Nice.
Have you seen anyone since you came inside that you knew that you had seen before?
He turns his head and looks to the left at a bunch of the other pigs.
What about people like us on two legs?
No.
Oh, okay. Did you see anybody when you moved from outside to inside? Right
No.
before you moved. Okay.
We were outside, then we were inside, then there was a screaming lady, then we were here.
No sizzle or loud sounds before you came inside?
It felt like lightning.
Aha. Cecilia, as our resident knower of things, Delmae will turn to you and say in Aldous, they say it felt like lightning when they disappeared from wherever they were and appeared in the building. Does that sound to you like a magical effect you have experienced or not?
Sounds a bit familiar. Frankly, it all sounds a bit like wild magic, admittedly. But
Yeah.
now, is there a roll or something I can do to sort of examine the pig? Without making a psychic connection. I don't necessarily need to hear the pig's story. I would like to examine the pig.
You would like to medically or magically examine this pig?
I feel magically is the better way to go in this situation. While the specific anatomy and physiology of a pig might be interesting to some, I mostly need to know where this pig came from and how it got here, and if it's possible to track the magic that moved it.
Well, I'm going to say that's a perfect moment to take our break for the evening, and we will find out how you're going to figure out more about this pig when we get back. So take 5 minutes, everyone, refresh yourselves, get some water, and we'll see you in a few minutes as we delve more into the magical mind of pig. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are back. We are still in Verdaunen. We are talking to a pig, y'all. It's being hog wild. Thank you, Stephanie, for that kind donation. I should have to figure out why the bits aren't working on the donation thing, but I'll figure that out. But for those of you who are wondering, yes, there's a donation bar. It's underneath us, like, right underneath Lindy. The donation bar is actually for art, because I'm trying to get art for all these wonderful fine folks, and for the Witcher game. So all of that. So all of your donations are going towards that for the time being. You will also see, actually, underneath, there's a, panels underneath me on Twitch. One of them is for donations. It says Pass the Hat. But another one has the art roleplay. And you can click on that and get basic information on the characters. And that will be updated for next week when you find out more basic bio information for the characters. Fun times. But y'all, you're talking to a hog. No, excuse me. We're not talking to a hog at the moment. Well, you are, but you aren't. At the moment, you are, Cecilia is about to attempt to...
Some sort of arcane investigation.
Yes, some sort of arcane investigation. In this case, I believe it is either intelligence arcana lore or intelligence... There would be intelligence arcana lore.
Of course I don't have that, so it's just straight intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Great. At least this is something I am normally good at.
Smart
With a 10, you would know there might be magic there. But it's probably might have dissipated. I mean, they did say it's been 4 days since the pigs were magically inclined. You just can't seem to get anything off of it right now.
Unusual. Very unusual. Seems that this being a 4-day-old situation, I can't get a decent enough read on it, I'm afraid. Very curious. Very curious.
Just trying to think what... The pig itself is not telling us anything. Can Delmae, using just her knowledge of animals and her interest in animals, can she tell if this pig looks to be from a different geographical area?
If you want, you could roll, intelligence natural lore, anyone who has it.
I have cultural and arcane. I do not have nature.
I have historical lore. So helpful right now.
Okay. So is it just an intelligence roll then?
It's just an intelligence roll then.
So, okay, 10.
You know, it looks like a pig. It's a hog.
Yes.
It looks like it's gonna be fine eating come soon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Out of character question.
Yep.
So I have... Where do these stunt points go? Do I have to keep track of them? Or
no, each time you roll, you can only use stunt points on that roll.
Okay, gotcha.
So, like... There are roleplay stunts, and I will fix them up in there before the end of before next game. But if you want, they are on page 374 of your exploration stunt. I mean, you have 4 stunt points. You could do That Makes Me Wonder. You immediately make another... Well, you didn't make a perception test, so that doesn't work.
Ah, here we go. Yeah.
And... Yeah, you're not really... Nothing really at hand is... Unless you want to use resources at hand. Choose a focus you don't have that falls within the same ability as the test you are making. You are considered to have that focus until time or venue changes. The narrator may require you to explain how this bonus arises from the environment and deny it if you can't make a reasonable suggestion. I mean, that's just like... kind of thing. I would say, at this point, they don't really help you. I mean, they're pigs. They're hogs.
Yeah. I think we might have run the course on this one, y'all. Should we go? Do you have any more questions, Cecilia or Vashard, or should we go check and make sure Revka's doing okay?
No, I am satisfied with the state of this hog, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
Should
we'll
we
leave
invite
it.
ourselves inside? Or just wait here?
Or at least wait closer to the house, away from the pig pen, perhaps.
Or, yeah, we can wait closer to the house, and Vashard, maybe we send in Whisper or... Sorry, what's your pupper's name?
Asen.
Whisper or Asen? And see if Revka tells them to bring us in or something. Although, what's worse in your house? A wolf or a strange person?
Perhaps we just listen
Goodness.
at the window or the door,
Okay.
politely. in this instance, unless
Let's
you
politely
feel...
eavesdrop.
Yes, unless a wolf would be the appropriate.
Oh.
I'm not sure.
I'll like lean on the wall next to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like just keep an ear close to the door, just as I like lean nonchalantly.
Yes, this is what I was picturing, yes.
Yep.
So while we're going to take the cameras that focuses in on Vashard leaning nonchalantly against this door, which of course is, this beautiful fantasy setting, a bi-split door, so, has the two pieces, the full farm door. One is, the bottom piece is closed, the front is open, or the top is open at the moment. And inside, we're gonna pan the camera through and inside, and we're gonna wind the clock back, a few minutes to pre-bacon discussions. Revka, Alfric had invited you inside. He was shouting for his charming wife, Sherry. A woman who you could tell used to be a good fighter, but, has definitely had, 3 kids, and that's not to say that she let herself go by any means, but there's been a, shift in muscle mass. Also
Gotcha.
chasing
Yeah,
after
she
3
definitely
kids.
wipes her boots really good at the door before coming in, because it would be rude to trek in, mud from everywhere we've traveled to up to this point and come in, nice and nonchalantly.
Sherry is, with her long, dark hair, comes up to you and, grabs your, literally grabs both your, the sides of your face and is just like, oh, Revka, it's so good to see you, and does that, European kiss on both sides kind of thing.
Yeah, reciprocate.
She is she is definitely a countrywoman who definitely used to be a fighter, again, like I said. She is kind of ecstatic to see you. She starts rattling very quickly in Kurnish.
Yes, I speak Kurnish, so this is fine.
Oh, it's so good to see you. We haven't seen you since that thing down in the Varan Marsh. How are you doing? We were upset to hear that you got sick. It's been so long. You should come in. It's such a surprise to see you. If we had known you were coming, we would have made better arrangements. It's such a shame that the children are here, and we can't have more fun together.
And the quick rattle off responses like, oh yes, I know it's been far too long. Surprised to see you as well. Was not expecting to be coming here. How many kids are there? Well, gesture up, bring up the kids is a good topic. How old are they? That kind of thing.
Like her 3 kids, she starts talking about her 3 children, the twins, a boy and a girl, and the youngest, a boy who apparently is going to go away to, is looking forward to joining his father's business. It's such a shame, but it is looking forward to seeing what they do. They are such, so athletic, and they're really wishing that they could join the Shields, but that's not for a time yet. They're only like 6 or 7. Who knows? Eventually they'll get there. And then Alfric sits down, kind of, on this farm table, and they're both sitting like there's food and drinks put down in front of you, and they're both sitting very close to you. Almost within your personal space.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure this is normal for them. So she's just gonna, maybe just pick up just a snack. Be like, oh, unfortunately, I cannot stay too long because we are here on official business. But maybe if we wrap up quickly, we can hang out afterwards. As soon as they're done and looking at the pigs, I'm afraid we have other things to investigate. Small talk. This is really good.
Then, probably about then, Vashard, you would be leaning against the wall, listening to this conversation. Does anyone else speak Kurnish?
I do.
You would be hearing this conversation. It seems very warm and welcoming, very friendly, very balanced. There was an entire personality shift when Alfric was talking to the rest of you. He was very cold, standoffish, looking at you as kind of an outsider. Now that he and Sherry are talking to Revka, it's much more intimate, more personal.
Okay. All right.
At that point, are you attempting to hide, or are you just attempting to lean against their door, kind of creeper-like?
Well, the door is closed, right?
Only half of it.
Oh,
Because it's that double bottom top farm door.
Yeah, like I'm not leaning on the door. I'm like
next to it.
Beside the door. Yeah,
like
next
Joe
to
Cool.
it.
Eavesdropping.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna try to hide because then that's very creepy if you try to hide when someone sees you. I'm just waiting for Revka to leave.
Okay, you're just waiting. Delmae, Cecilia, what are you two doing?
Well, I think as soon as Delmae put her ear to the wall and realized they were speaking in Kurnish. She realized this was not her thing, and so she's probably, depending on what Cecilia is doing, either going to be just shooting the shit with Cecilia or with Whisper, depending.
I think listening in and realizing a conversation's in Kurnish, and it never was very great at the languages, so unfortunately all of my Kurnish is useless in this situation, as I do not speak it very well, except for a few small phrases that are not of any use in this situation. I believe Cecilia would go immediately back to the book in hand, unless Delmae was trying to get her attention.
No, she'll let her be. I think this is what Cecilia and Delmae do. They do their lessons sometimes, but then they just kind of, they're able to occupy a companionable silence together.
Yes, it is. It has been one of the many benefits of having Delmae as a student in this case. She understands the value of quiet time that is also together. It is.
Yeah,
it's a good mark of a person.
It's a mark of someone who spends a lot of time with an animal.
Well, that is perhaps true. Or somebody who spends all their time in a library.
That too.
All their time in
But
the
yeah, so
library
they're
to
just-
be true.
For the most part, I'm in the library. I've traveled. But yes, there's books to read. Want to figure out what else they've got wrong in this particular volume.
Okay, in that case, let us see something. Do. Ooh, yeah. There's a pause in the conversation, probably about the time that Sherry is talking about, well, where are you staying? Oh, you can't be staying at that inn. You know what goes on there. It'd be horrible. You should stay with us. And Alfric kind of puts a hand on Sherry's arm. It's like, no. And he kind of nods his head towards the door. And Sherry will turn and go, well, why did you tell me we had more guests? Honestly, can't trust you for Father's moment. Oh, and she'll get up and start walking towards the Dutch door. Thank you, Brandon Ship, for reminding me of terms. And start looking at, well, aren't y'all gonna come in? Apparently you've been talking to pigs, is what I've been hearing, but y'all should come in.
Oh, thank you.
It's a little weird to be just standing outside a folks' door.
Well, intimate conversations. You did not want to interrupt.
Oh, that was not an intimate conversation. If it was to be intimate, the door would have been shut and you wouldn't have been around.
Yes, you make a very fine point indeed. Thank you.
We should probably actually keep investigating. We should not take up any more of your time right now, as, again, we are here on official business, but maybe later we can walking over to the door as well. She would finish whatever beverage was placed in front of her first, though, to be polite.
It's that kind of, not a tea, a tisane. So, a little bit heartier, a little bit sweeter. And, you would notice that Sherry is she's not tall, but she is, definitely, still working with it. She's about a little shorter than you are, Revka. And as you approach the door, she just kind of puts her arm like around your shoulders, very friendly but also intimately. It's like, are you sure we can't help convince you to stay?
You're very persuasive, but we do have to attend to business first, unfortunately.
Yes.
Business before pleasure. You're always a responsible one. And she'll kind of lean in conspiratorially.
Kind of
against
shrug. Like, you know me.
And she'll kind of lean in conspiratorially to your ear and be like, and whisper in your ear, be like, honestly, between you and me, I'd much rather be having a fun time with you tonight than hanging out with, well, 3 children and crazy pigs and everything else weird that's been going on in this town. But good luck!
Thank you. Hopefully we will help clear up some of the... Can't help with the children, but with the crazy, hopefully.
Well, let me know if you change your mind.
Of course I will. Give the little squeeze back.
Yep. And she'll kind of like do that again, European kiss on both cheeks and let you leave.
Yep.
Alfric has come up behind her. He's taller than she is, but not by a significant amount. And kind of rests a hand on her shoulder and then just also kind of like leans in to give you a very warm hug as well. And you need anything, you let me know.
Of course. Be seeing you then. Head out.
Friends of yours?
Yes. Have not seen them in quite some time.
Seem nice enough to you.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. They sure did seem very friendly.
Is how they are with friends.
I'm always here to make new friends. But they have to want it. The pigs were a bust. They were,
Yes.
well, the pigs were pigs, more accurately.
Yeah.
Oh.
They felt like lightning when they disappeared from their regular farm from not around this area to here. But it still continues to sound like wild magic.
It does sound like magic from what little I know of it.
Yes.
So, what next on the list was moaning?
Yes.
Yes, the farm with the moaning, I believe, was...
Do we have directions to that, or should we ask?
It was on the
your friends?
east side of town. I'm sure if you listen for moaning.
Okay, otherwise we could ask your friends if they're feeling generous and helpful for more specific directions.
I can ask them. It was the I have the name here. Randis farm and his husband.
Randis farm. Okay.
Yes, I will ask. She'll just jog back a few steps. Actually, could you point in the direction of the farm owned by Randis and his husband?
Oh yeah, Randis and Mildot. Sure. So if you're going, and like Sherry will come out like the door, and you know she's got.
Yeah.
It looks like a dress, but it's that level of like pants
Yes.
that
love
are
those
just
pants.
very wide legs that kind of.
Ugh. Like
Lots
look
of
like the
pants
most
on.
comfortable things on the planet. Those things.
Yeah, and they're they're not quite harem pants. They're just big wide leg pants that kind of fake looking like a skirt. And she will say, if you go down the center of town and you go down to the market, when you get down to the market, when you get down to the bakery, you can't miss it. It's the bakery. It smells like a bakery. You're going to turn left, and at the end of the road there's a big old farmhouse, 3 stories, big shiny window. They actually paid money to put a stained glass window in, if you can believe that. It was a big
Really? Wow.
big old, shiny rose pattern whole thing. It was really nice. But that's their place. It's right at the edge of the street. You can't miss it.
Thank you.
For those of you looking on your map, yes, that would be it.
Okay.
Hi ho to the farm we go.
Yes. I was singing that in my head, admittedly, now.
Okay. We all bop to silent music.
I'm not confident enough in my whistling ability to start whistling it, so I am
I
choosing
don't even know
instead.
who we would start about licensing that from.
Yeah, well, that would be the next thing, is the license issue.
Let's just make our way to the farm in silence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Vashard, you're not fun.
I just don't want us to cease existing in one flash because of a song.
That's true. We're
It's the
singing
walking
in our
song.
hearts and our heads.
We're
Yes.
walking across the city to where we're going. The farm is moaning. Da 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 da. See, that's no license
We just have
required.
to Weird Al everything. Just parody city.
Somehow I
Anywho.
still think the mouse would know, and the mouse would come for me in the night.
The
The mouse.
yeah.
No, I'm thinking about the rat. The other one. The by Dosney.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You keep saying that. But somehow...
Hoozle.
Somehow...
So we've made it to the moaning farm.
Yes.
Do you do...
Oi.
Are you doing anything on your way? Are you stopping on your way? Are you just...
I mean, I'll keep an eye out for interesting looking things, or I don't know, wild magic appearing. Just keep an eye out
Yeah.
for the unusual, given that that's what we've been told is happening. Just strange things.
I'm just thinking about my good friends that I've reunited with. Just
Oh.
running that over my friend. Running that over my mind. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Vashard, what are you doing?
I'm going to turn to Revka. This man, someone you've sparred with?
No. No. Just, colleagues for a time. Did some work together. Back in the marsh, Grand Marsh. Way back.
Hmm.
And his wife. Oh, she was a very good fighter back in the day.
And what made them turn away from the life?
Well, people make families, have kids, settle down.
Oh, oof.
They apparently have 3 now. 2 are twins. Do not envy her.
I would not see myself settling down either.
But I'm happy for them. They seem happy.
They seem rather cold. But then again,
You just have to get through the end. They're like turtles. You have to get through shell to get to soft interior. It is not unwise of them to be wary of people they do not know.
well, we're not bad people.
No. But you can never be too careful.
It's true, you can't. Well, looks like we got to the farm.
Well,
Let's- Vashard strike to end the conversation.
yes.
Oh, look, a shark.
Hey, look, it's that stained glass window. We must be at the farm.
Awkward conversation. Yeah, it doesn't take long to get there. As I said, this whole thing is to scale, and the distance from, if you take it's, 100 feet to the center of town, and then another almost 200 feet to the farm of Randis and Mildit Nahorn, who you now have in your NPC folder.
Ooh.
As
I love
keep
the-
everything.
I love this NPC list.
Yep. And it is also shared with those of you in chat who wish to see what all of these people look like.
Good lord, attractive folk. Hello.
Yes. The attractive NPC document has started.
Love the attractive NPC document. It's so great.
You know what's really unrealistic about this game so far? The fact that we're not just doing this at every single NPC we see, because let's be real, in the real world we would be.
You guys might not be.
Oh, okay. Good.
I have constructed my face in such a way as to hide my horny on mainness in such a way that it is.
And Revka already knew Sherry and Alfric, so it's not like it was a new revelation to her. But these two.
Yeah.
In the haunted, the moaning farm.
Oh god, Moaning Farm takes on a whole new meaning.
I mean,
Outside.
thinking that this whole time.
I was, but
I'm
now I'm
absolutely
picturing it too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's a visual.
I,
aid now.
I'm a visual person.
Can we? I'd like to knock
Getting
on the
back
door.
to it.
I'd like to knock on the door before we all get distracted by.
No,
The
but
moaning.
I'd like to go back to the older woman and ask her, like, the moaning from the farm, like, what pitch were the voices? Did they sound more masculine, or?
Oh god.
I
Could
would
you
like to point.
describe the moaning, please?
I would also like to point out that Aileen Parnsher said to you, y'all, I'm pretty sure that sounds just like them, and they were just overthinking it. But whatever you all think, yeah.
Okay. Do we hear moaning as we approach?
You
That
can
is the
roll me a
question.
perception if you have the specialty in hearing. You may use it. If not,
Oh,
just
no.
perception.
Just straight up perception.
Regular old.
Regular old perception.
What if I have a specialty, a focus in moaning? Is that something?
I mean,
Perhaps I should take that at my next level up.
12, 13, and a 16 in the group.
I'm getting there.
13, 16, 13, 12. You don't hear moaning, but you do hear the sounds of screams and pitches. And between one step and the next, as you approach the house, you're not on this path in this town. You hear horses, cries, buildings burning, glass breaking. You don't hear screams, but you don't see any houses. You don't see this paved roadway. There's mists and trees around you.
Does any of this look or sound familiar in any sort of way?
Roll me what is it? It's a,
You tell me. Whatever.
I
I'll roll
know,
whatever you want.
I need to know the right thing. I would say you could just roll a straight intelligence here.
Oh, okay.
Just straight intelligence.
Sure. That's my strong suit. 13.
Yes, it sounds very familiar to you, Revka.
just gonna keep my eyes open then, and look around to the others to see if they're hearing and seeing what I'm hearing and seeing.
So we're not in the village anymore.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
If I look backward, like if I look back, do I see the village like we've crossed over like a portal type of thing? Or is it more like we've been teleported somewhere else?
Is
Like a village burning.
Are the wolves freaking out?
Do we
just
see?
happened?
Oh,
Yeah.
yep.
Delmae has never seen anything or experienced anything like this before, so her first question is out loud to the group. What just happened?
Revka's breathing a little heavier, like, and, you know, just breathing a little heavy, and her hand is on her flail. She hasn't pulled it out or anything, but it's there ready to, if she needs to.
Is there any other sign of life besides us? Our little group? Or is it just all sounds in the distance? Yeah. I have searching. Searching and scanning. Yeah, I accept that. But I rolled an 18, so I feel pretty okay about that.
Okay, so the reason you couldn't hear me, Brandon, is because I was muted. Because I am indeed that pro. But for those of you who are listening, they are no longer anywhere near the village of Verdaunen. They've, between one step and the next, the village has disappeared, the path has disappeared. They hear burning and smell the sounds of, well, smells of a burning village and the sounds of glass breaking and people, now you can hear them screaming. With that 18, what were you looking for again, Cecilia? You were looking for other people?
Any signs of life at all, like human, humanoid, animal, anything. Just something that would give us some kind of bearing of what else we've stepped into.
You hear sounds of humanoids. They're not speaking Alden. You don't recognize the language. It's distant enough that you know it's not Alden, but you're not 100% certain what language it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You'd have to be closer to hear what they are speaking. It's dark and colder. It's suddenly colder. There's the mists that are surrounding. And you have this moment. You hear the sounds of horses, but you also hear something else under the sound of that horse. Something more high-pitched and whining that isn't... That cry is not... That's not a horse. That's bigger. That's almost reptilian.
Is it something that I would have heard perhaps during the invasion?
Yes. It sounds very similar to a thing you might have heard of when Kern attempted to invade the kingdom of Aldous. You would have heard these great cries of these creatures from the sky. These
Wyverns? I'll shout it out loud while scanning the sky for wherever they could be coming from.
Yeah, can I look too? Can
Yeah.
I look to see?
I would like to join that as well.
Wyverns Or perception seeing?
perception seeing.
Cool.
Or just
Thingy and
perception for
seeing.
the rest of us.
I don't see shit.
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
What? See what?
Got an 11.
You look up and the sky is dark. And when you had gone to this farm, it was still, mid-afternoon. Getting closer to towards dusk, but, not even twilight yet, right? Sunset hadn't happened. Now there's this cloud cover. That heavy clouds that are like the precursor to a heavy winter storm. Something that you might expect to see, like thunder lightning, snow lightning in. Thunder snow is fun. And you can hear them, but it's almost like they're using the cloud cover to avoid being seen.
Where do I know? Like, given my studies, like, do I know of teleportation magic, or like in terms of just how Delmae feels about her reality right now? Does she think she's hallucinating, or does she think she's teleported?
No, you would probably think you were teleported.
Okay.
Teleportation is a magic that does exist.
Okay.
It is a... You would know that one of the things that the finest is usually called, one of the things that the finest are regularly kind of called to deal with is in the old empire, in the old kingdom, before the Sorcerer Kings destroyed it and then the resurgence of the Kingdom of the Blue Rose, the old kingdom actually had these massive teleportation circles that were like big standing circles of stone that would be used to transport across the countries and across the empire. And the problem was that once the Sorcerer Kings came in, they took control of them, and they don't really work the same anymore. So occasionally the finest are called to locations where these big teleportation circles are to, stop Shadow Spawn from attacking. Or, perhaps the Lich King of Kern has one and wishes to use to invade the entire kingdom. Oh, well, we're glad he's no longer, currently a problem.
Yeah. Or, the Shadow Gate under the castle and all this that the Queen used to go kill the Lich King.
Yeah, that kind of made her look a little bad. A lot of people have talked about it. It's a big kind of, shall we say, point of contention.
Well, no need to bring up that
Question.
point of contention.
Did we smell lightning as we stepped from one place?
Ooh. That's a good question.
You didn't necessarily smell it then, but you smell like that afterburn of when lightning struck in the air, you know? It just kind of permeates.
Well, so she'll look at the rest of the crew and say, well, wild magic hit the pigs. Think it just hit us.
Does this seem similar to those old teleportation circles? Like, would we know how many of them existed and how many have been gone at this point?
The total number that existed, you don't have a count for because the records have been lost. And each time a new one is found, they kind of like add to the documentation. But think of them like, you know, Stargates, right? There was a vast network. Not all of them are accounted for. You don't know where most of them go. And every time a new one kind of comes in and it's found, you add it to your like map. It's like, ooh, look, we found another one. It goes here.
Yeah.
But you know that you would have to walk through one of those things. They're big, they're large, they were designed to transport people and goods vast distances. You know, they're like 50 feet across in diameter. You would
see them.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
not like walking onto a teleport, you know, you stepped on a rune or something and you were teleported. This was, you were teleported, you're pretty sure. You're just not sure how.
That cancels my line of questioning then. Thank you.
We're in danger one way or another. Do I see smoke anywhere? Like columns of smoke coming from a burning village, for example.
You do see smoke. It's to the northeast of you. But it's not plumes. It's not wisps of smoke.
And is there any cover from the sky anywhere nearby?
Well, there's a track that kind of leads to where the smoke is coming from, and there are like heavy trees along that track that you could proceed through.
Then I suggest we head for the trees and try to stay out of sight of the wyverns. And whoever lives over there might be in need of help. Or
Yeah, Revka?
Can I make sure my psychic shield is raised?
Sure. Would you like to roll for
Oh, is
that?
that something we have to raise?
yeah, I thought it was a reaction.
It's like, so technically, by reading it, if someone tries to make an attack against you, when you're the target of any arcana granting a willpower resistance test, you can make an opposed psychic shield test. However, it blocks some psychic contacts and things, or it's useful for blocking initial unwanted psychic contact. But you can voluntarily lower as your shield as a free action and raise it again as a free action. So she's just making sure your shield is always active, even if you're unconscious or sleeping. She's just making sure it's up, it's still good. She's just, you know, like
Yep.
poking at it, like this thing's still on. Okay, good, cool.
Good idea.
Yeah, that's all she's doing. Would you like me to roll anything for that, Prax, or is it good?
Well, no. It's something that's an innate that you're not opposing anything right now, so you're just checking that it's there.
Just making sure. She just felt like she needed to check. That's all.
Yeah.
Then she'll just nod with what Vashard's saying. Trees, yes, it is. It's difficult for them to navigate in trees.
Follow closely behind Revka.
Yeah, we're following the warrior folk on this one.
Revka, are you taking the lead?
I can if you wish.
I'll take the rear.
And I'll take the lead.
So Revka's taking the lead. Vashard and Asen, I'm assuming the pupper. For purposes of everything, I'm going to always assume the puppers are with their person, unless you
Yes.
tell me otherwise.
Whisper will go up next to Revka.
Okay. So Whisper's with Revka, Delmae
then,
and Cecilia
Del
are in
will be
between.
right behind them. Yeah.
All right. So, the group of you move through. Are you being stealthy about this? Are you being quiet about this?
Revka's not. Revka doesn't know the meaning of stealth. That's never been her thing. Really.
Can I at least be careful?
Delmae was
behind-
gonna
She'll
try to be
be
stealthy.
mindful of cover,
Hmm.
tree cover, but she's not gonna try to move quietly. If that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, same for
Sorry,
Vashard.
it's like that's you and me with the quiets. Or
yeah,
attempts to be quiet. We're like,
I feel like this is a moment to become the library mouse, in which I am small and I am not here. And if I stay quiet, nobody will know I'm here.
Okay.
So I'm going to quietly put my hood up and follow the big strong lady.
So if you want to be quiet and stealthy, then I need a roll from you to be quiet and stealthy.
what does it roll for that?
I believe it's what is the?
Dexterity.
It's
Accuracy?
hold on. Talents, focuses.
I don't have that focus.
Yeah, I
so
definitely don't have the specific
Yeah,
focus.
it's dexterity. It's dexterity stealth.
Okay, well, I'm just rolling straight dexterity then.
Mhm.
Shame.
Ah! I got a
14.
9.
Okay, so a 14 and a 9. You are pretty sure you're quiet. And, you know, there are these big, large warrior types who are being much louder in front of you.
Yep.
You are going through the trees, maneuvering, focused, trying to stay under cover. You come, Revka, to the tree break. You hear that last cry of a wyvern. And as you break through the trees, between one step and the next, you're standing in front of a farmhouse at the edge of town, in front of Verdaunen.
Walk backwards. 2 steps.
Jump right
Walk
into
forwards.
us.
Maybe. She's just checking to see if it's like a at the tree line this effect ends, or is it just over now?
Yeah.
You walk backwards a few steps and walk into Delmae.
Oh, sorry. He's just checking.
Is Delmae still in whatever
Nope.
land? Oh, okay. No.
We're all
We all
You're
got
all
out.
together.
Well, that was strange, but I think we are at farmhouse.
there's no signs of a magic portal. There's no like secretly winking, proud of themselves like sorcerer around. There's just the village as we've seen it up to this point.
And a house with a very impressive stained glass window in the tower of the 3rd floor.
And nothing in the sky.
Nothing in the sky. Well, you can roll me another perception check if you want to double check.
I'm
It was-
going to double check.
That was not quite moaning, but it was certainly something.
Don't
Yeah.
want to hear it again. If at all possible, I would like to avoid hearing that ever again.
Is that what the conflict was like?
Yes.
And that was how many years ago? 2? But it was
3.
in Kern, right?
They started
Like
invading.
the border. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the border. Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out if Delmae would have experienced it. Probably not. Yeah.
Probably both in the city by that point.
It was kind of like that. With long pauses in between very short bursts of action. Of deadly action.
How horrible.
It was not what most people would call pleasant.
No, but it was necessary.
Yeah, well, I'm glad things went the way they did. I'm grateful.
And if it's something you would like to talk through, perhaps when we finish this farmhouse, I will be here to listen, of course, as always.
And as a defense mechanism against what Cecilia just said, Vashard is going to turn to Revka and ask, where were you during the invasion? The marsh?
No, that was before the invasion. I was living on the border. My family has lived in that area for a long time.
Oh.
That scene was quite familiar.
Yeah.
Gently reach for Revka and sort of pat her shoulder. Very comforting.
I thought you would have joined in with the finest. I thought you would have joined in with the finest to help push back the tide of Kurnish invaders.
I did what I could, but I also had the other things to worry about at that time. She gets kind of a sad, mixed feelings look.
Vashard will not press any further, but he does make a mental note in his mind that maybe Revka was on the wrong side.
They gasp.
Revka's been here for a very long time. So.
Yes, but things happen between you and I.
Bye.
And I think on that question, that note, that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Ooh.
I'm so curious.
Let's investigate the farmhouse next week.
What happened?
Spend less time talking to pigs, perhaps.
But why?
I mean, talking to animals is more fun than talking to people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have a point of contention to make there, because the animals, while interesting companions, I do believe that a humanoid provides a very good person to sort of bounce one's ideas off of in a wholly safe and understanding environment, free from judgment.
Aeson has never judged me, and I can bounce ideas off of him anytime.
Fair, I suppose. I'm just saying the avenue is always there.
I know it is.
Okay.
It's just easier with Aeson.
Anyway.
And on that, how we all doing? Did we have fun today? I hope you are enjoying yourself as we dive into this wonderful game, The Romance of the Blue Rose. Thank you all of my wonderful viewers for joining us. I'm going to go let everyone go around, tell me where we can find you, and give some love. Share some love with this cast, and tell me, something you're looking forward to for next week. So we'll go in reverse order this time. So, Simon, hey, thank you for being here.
Thanks. I had tons of fun. I'm Simon at Wandering DM. You very quickly can find me tomorrow over on my channel at 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. as we continue Rime of the Frost Maiden. Then on Wednesday, I will be over on Unmade Gaming at 8 p.m. for Cyberpunk Phoenix with the Taco Doctor. And then on Thursday, it is the premiere of the Cyberpunk Out on a Limb game over on Sirenscape. You will not see me, but I will be behind the scene doing all the fun little stuff here and there and making sure that the show is as amazing as the cast that is in it. Then on Friday, it's my Cyberpunk game, again, on my channel. There's like a lot of Talsorian stuff going on. And then Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. For Scion, and be back here next Sunday for some more Blue Robes. I had a lot of fun. I don't know what I wish for right now, because we're like just starting. I wish to know what Lindy just said.
We're just scratching the surface, man. We're just getting started.
So, no, I can't wait for the drama to unfold and for the audience to start peeking into our backstories.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be drama. High tension, high drama, full of relationships, fun times, all of the good things. Hey, Lindy!
Hi! Hi, I'm me. Hi, that's me. I'm Lindy.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I was unsure if I would be here tonight for a little bit or be crying the whole time because I had something in my eye for several hours this afternoon, evening. But an hour before game time, it miraculously got out of my eye. So yay, happy times. I am offended that Simon would think that Revka was on the Kernish side of the war, the wrong side of the war. How dare he?
I believe it's more like inaction. Like inaction.
Like non-action?
Like non-action.
Oh, well.
Like, you
we'll
know,
just have to
you
wait
can
and find
take the
out.
girl out of Cairn, but you cannot take Cairn out of the girl.
Maybe maybe you'll have to find out and see, because you know there's a lot of stuff going on here. It's complicated. That's what she would say at this moment in time.
Yeah.
I missed out on the pig conversation, but I got to catch up with some old friends, so that was fun. And I can't wait to meet these farmers and the moaning. I can't wait to deal with the moaning situation is all I'm going to say for next week. That's what I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward to the moaning, and Tesla agrees. So yeah, you could find me here on Wednesday, next Wednesday as well, where I'm a witcher in a witcher game. I'm a cat witcher, and it's great. Tesla has the highest approval for cat witchers as well. She's biased though, so you know. And of course, you can find me on my own channel on Tuesday, GMing some, I'd say spooky Ravenloft, but they're just on regular Ravenloft shenanigans right now. I anticipate a battle of the bands soon. We'll see. It's crazy. There's 3 bards as glorified NPCs being played by some of my players right now. It's going to be a mess. So if you like chaos, check that out. And then just follow me to see what I'm doing elsewhere and when, because I tweet or at least retweet about it. Laugh Love Lindy. That's me. Just check it out.
You should totally check her out and check out the craziness that is her Ravenloft game, because epic hilarity will ensue. But speaking of someone else who is wonderful and fabulous, hey Alyssa!
Hello! For once in my life, I actually have something to plug, and I'm really excited to do that.
Yay!
The basics being, I'm around, I lurk in most things. I'm on Twitter at Xander Slambleton or on Instagram at Xander in the Wild, where I have started posting tiny proofs of purchase, basically, that I am practicing my loot and actually getting somewhere with it. So slowly but surely, I will morph into the bard of my dreams and run away into the woods with the loot. But until that day, I will be back here next Sunday, which I'm really excited for. I will be lurking during Witcher, of course. And on Tuesday, starting on the January 26th, I will be over on Other Doc's channel for Urban Shadows. We've just finally announced that. So that's going to be our little intrigue in Rome. I'm very much looking forward to that. And also for tonight, I always love the level of patience with which you put up with our shenanigans, Prax. I love this cast so far. I'm very excited to see what we do with these characters, and also what is Revka up to with those. What's she doing with those people? Were her friends or friends? I want to know.
Curious minds.
Curiouser and curiouser. So many questions, so many people want to know everything. I want to know. Hey, Pooja, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming.
So happy to be here, y'all, and I'm very excited to be embarking on this adventure with this wonderful group, some of whom I've played before with, and some who are brand new to it. I love this session so far, and I'm really curious to see where the story goes and how this world unfolds. And you can find me on Twitter at Pooja, and that's where you'll see me retweet a bunch of stuff, most of which is gaming, but sometimes it's other important things that need to be addressed. But you can find me most imminently on Tuesday night on the Flights of Fandom show on Manapot Studios channel, where this time the fandom we are attacking is John Wick. We will be playing an adaptation of The Final Girl, where the DM plays John Wick, who is trying to get revenge, and the rest of us all play a bunch of John Wick NPCs from the movie, essentially, trying to survive. Expect lots of mayhem, rampage, and on my part, I have vowed to wear a different wig per character that I play, so we'll see how that goes. And links will be on my my Twitter. And I hope to see y'all there, and if not, I will be here next Sunday with these lovely folks on more adventures.
So what are you looking forward to next week?
Oh, yes. What am I looking forward to next week? I really am looking forward to getting into some of the down and dirty details of how arcana work in this world. We've mentioned wild magic, we've kind of talked about it, but we haven't really seen the characters cast spells yet, so I really want to see how that goes.
Yep. I am looking forward to that too. I'm looking forward to seeing how that all works for you. And as for me, hey y'all, you know me, I'm at Deirdre on Twitter, or Prexgorth Esmiophoria as you see me around here on Twitch. Welcome to the channel. You have all of the fun times here. For those of you wondering, yes, all of these VODs go up on YouTube. There is a YouTube. If you need to check out something, you missed something, you want to check it out, it's all there for you. Next week, I will make sure to add a cast command. Thank you, Coldrake, for reminding me that that's something that I can do. But next up, you can find me here Wednesday with Lindy as we play some Witcher TTRPG, Witcher the Road's Home, for Golden Age Witcher, and I do not know if I can top Trooper having a revelatory experience to himself, both in character and out of character at the same time. But I'm going to try. And you can find me on Friday over with Simon on Wandering DM for some Cyberpunk Red as we continue Season 4 of that, because that's going to be fun. Fun times. It'll be great. And then back here on Sunday for the next episode of The Romance of the Blue Rose. I would love to thank all of my wonderful players for coming, for hanging out, for playing with me, for enjoying all of this wonderful fun times. And we hope to see you next time. Don't worry, Crit Witch. There's plenty of things for you to catch up on. But we'll see you next time, and I hope you enjoy it. Have a good one.